So, can I recommend something to you? Um, and I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not going to question people's systems of beliefs. But whenever you have a big decision to make, I want to submit this for your consideration, that you go to God about this decision. Do not go to people. Do not go to another human being. I don't care who they are to you. Do not trust what they say. I'm saying this because a lot of times people speak out of their own personal interest, or they speak out of their own scope, their own perspective. Very few people have the ability to look at a situation, look at you, and see how you can bridge the gap. Very few people have the ability to do that. So if ever you have to make a life-changing decision, I don't care what it is, whether it's a job, whether it's a personal relationship, whether it's changing your environment, seek God for it. Seek God for it. Because one thing I'll tell you that will happen when you seek God for it, and I'm speaking from experience, God will send people to you. He will send signs. You just got to be open to receiving. But He will send either the right people to you to say the thing that needs to hit your spirit, that will confirm to you what decision to make. Don't go seek advice from other people. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. That's how you know when God is speaking to you. He will put things in front of you. You don't have to go seek it out. It's too many times that I've had encounters, even with people, where they will speak something to a truth that only you and God know. When you have a decision to make, seek God first. So let me just give you a real life practical example of what I'm talking about. So back in August, I met this young lady and we clicked pretty much right away. And one day we got to talking and she started sharing a lot of personal stuff, like very personal stuff. And for me, that was no surprise because since maybe the age of 14, probably 15, I started to notice a pattern that people, no matter what walk of life they have been in or are in, that they feel really, really comfortable around me, to the point where they even go as far as to share their life story with me. And I was just one to sit and listen and, allow them to feel free and be themselves, even if it was just for like 5 minutes, 15, 30, or an hour. Just allow them to purge. And that's when I started to notice that this was one of the gifts that God had given me. And I didn't really take it too seriously until maybe the last 15 years, where it was like, okay, I have a responsibility with this gift and I don't want to abuse it. So, I've set pretty strict boundaries around these types of encounters. So I'm saying all this to say that when God reveals a gift that He wants you to use, that's going to really just manifest in a way where either people have an encounter with Him or people recognize that He exists, or whatever it is that He needs to get across to those individuals. It really ain't much of your business on what is supposed to happen, what the end result is. It really is about you being obedient and exercising that gift the way you're supposed to. And so When I say to you, don't go to other human beings to figure out what life-changing decisions need to be made, it's because, again, like I said, just in the previous clip, people have their own self-interest. People only have a limited scope, and it's not to throw shade on anyone. It's just to say that you don't need to validate and confirm with a human being what God has presented to you. So going back to this young lady, I think it was like maybe last week or the week before, we were standing here, it was a bunch of moms. We were standing, talking, and then, she started pointing out things about each one of us that was special. And I've never said to her what my gift was or is. I don't tell anybody really what my gift is. Now, but I don't. How many people know that? Like, know it to remember it. You know what I'm saying? So I never said to her, this is my God-given gift and da-da-da-da-da. She pointed it out. She said, you're a guide. You're a guide. And there's something about you that when people get around you, they feel comfortable, they feel lighter after they talk to you. It's like they get to purge. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't telling me nothing new. But this is what I'm saying, when God is going to send people to you, when you feel like stagnant or misdirected or misguided, God will send people to you to reconfirm and reestablish His word. And this is why I don't go to no one for advice anymore. This is the simple reason as to why I do not seek advice from anyone anymore. Because you can't tell me what should and shouldn't happen, how to go and where to be, when God already told me what I need to do. And this is why I'm, submitting this for your consideration, that anytime you have to make decisions, and especially when it comes to what you know and believe you've been called to do, to always be in constant communication with God. Don't seek other people for something that didn't involve them. But I keep saying this. It was an A and B conversation. It wasn't a conference call. So unless it was a conference call, the people in that conference call, you can always go back to. But trust and believe, when it comes to your purpose and what God has set in motion for you, it's never a conference call. It's a one-on-one conversation. So I hope that you guys get something out of that, and just trust that God always has your best interests at heart. Stop looking to other people who indeed have a purpose for their own, but for whatever reason, if they don't seek God for it, if they don't accept the call, like, that's their problem. If you accepted the call, then you keep in constant communication with the person who delivered the message in the first place.